Not very long ago, I walked timidly into the local MMA training and fitness gym and asked about joining. I remember that I was downright moist with anxiety and totally intimidated to walk in the place. This is not your typical family gym where soccer moms go to get in a little me time after they drop the kids off at school, or senior citizens jazzercise to avoid atrophy. Instead of rows of treadmills and stationary bikes, there were battered heavy bags and thick ropes, and is that a cage? I'd never punched, kicked, sparred, or trained for anything physical in my life. Sports was not my thing growing up. However, days earlier, in trying to teach my first grade daughter the difference between a good dare, one that challenges you to break out of your comfort zone, and a bad dare, one that puts you at risk of injury or kidnapping, she surprised me by asking, "So, Dad, if I dared you to go into that gym and learn how to fight, would that be a good dare or a bad dare?" Trapped in my own lesson, I had no choice but to step up and try to be a good example. So I dipped my toe in the MMA waters by attending a fitness kickboxing class in this gym. How hard could that be, right? Surely it's more about fitness than kicking and boxing. Must be. The instructor was a fireball of energy and agility named Luis. "Hi, are you Louis?" "No, I'm Luis." Dance music pulsed and the class seemed to move at 1,000 miles an hour. I was a wet mess trying to keep up. Just as I'd get a move straight, they'd be on to the next thing and I'd start tripping all over myself again. I was easily the biggest goofball in the room, no doubt about it. And thanks to the giant wall of mirror, I could watch myself panting and flop sweating all over the place. I looked like Mr. Bean in the role of a runaway escaped prisoner. I was sure I would not make it through this class without hurling or blacking out. I had to stop several times to guzzle water and pray that the room would stop spinning. But somehow, later that day, I felt incredible. Not physically. Physically, I felt like I'd been molested by a grizzly bear named Luis. But emotionally, I felt shockingly invigorated. Not just because I'd accepted a good dare and pushed out of my comfort zone, but because for the first time since I could remember, I was the new guy. See, like most adults my age, without realizing it, I'd fallen into the lazy rut of sticking to the safe and predictable, never embracing new challenges and potentially having my balls handed to me. In fact, I'd probably been unconsciously avoiding such scenarios for at least a decade. I mean, who knows? Maybe that part of the brain that craves fresh experiences had been falsely satiated by the relentless challenges of parenthood. I mean, let's face it, new experiences come at you like first-inning fastballs when you're suddenly in charge of a tiny human. Feeding, pooping, talking, walking, running, teaching, raising, on it goes. Until one day, your 6-year-old essentially says to you, "Dad, you should good dare yourself to be less of a pussy." I've been attending 3 to 5 classes a week at that scary-looking gym around the corner for almost 3 years now, and it's been nothing short of transitional for my health and my confidence. The majority of mushy fat that terrorized me in changing room mirrors has largely been replaced by lean muscle. My stamina now carries me through anything Luis can throw at me, and I have something resembling an ass for the first time in my life. At my last routine physical, my cholesterol was so well in check that my doctor took me off the lipid regulators for a test run, and I've been off them ever since. And don't look for me on any fight cards, but I can kick and punch well enough to make a cool thumping sound with my strikes. And some days, when I partner up with a nervous new guy in his first class, I get to be the savvy class veteran for an hour. But the best days are when I get to spar with a lifer. Those guys and girls who've been pushing at their limits for longer than I've been driving a car. Those are the greatest because no matter how far I think I've come, one of those guys will throw a casual kick that sends me off my feet flat onto my back with a bang. And I'm the new kid all over again. So think about it. When's the last time you felt like the new guy or the new girl in the room? And how freeing is it to give in to the beginner's mindset and learn something all over again or for the first time? Try it. Challenge yourself, or allow your child to challenge you to do something that takes you completely out of your comfort zone. And I promise you'll be really glad you did. It'll improve your confidence, your self-esteem, and give you all kinds of fresh ideas for growing your business. Do it and let me know how it goes. Log into copychief.com/TAM and leave me a comment on the show notes page. I'll see you there.